Welcome to our news report for February 8th, 2025.
Yeah.
You can find more reports like this on the Pels Fundamentals YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
sources for all the information in today's report are linked below.
Great.
We'll start with international news,
Okay.
then move on to local news here in the Faroe Islands,
Sounds good.
and we'll finish up with the weather.
Okay, let's get started.
First up is news from France.
Okay.
Former President Nicolas Sarkozy
Right.
has been sentenced to house arrest with an electronic ankle bracelet.
Yeah, this is actually the first time in French history
Wow.
that a former president has received this type of sentence.
Interesting.
Sarkozy was sentenced to 3 years,
Okay.
with 2 years suspended for corruption and bribery charges
Oh,
related to his 2007 election campaign.
okay.
He's accused of accepting millions of euros from the late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi.
Moving north,
Okay.
there's a new pro-independence political party called Qualic in Greenland. They've gathered the required signatures to be officially recognized
Okay.
and are currently drafting their political platform.
Makes sense.
Their main goal is to achieve independence for Greenland
Uh-huh.
as soon as possible.
Got it.
Now, across the Atlantic,
Yeah.
a judge in the United States blocked Elon Musk's Doge efficiency unit
Okay.
from accessing systems within the U.S. Treasury.
Interesting.
This ruling prevents the unit from obtaining information about millions of Americans.
Wow. Okay.
In other U.S. news, former President Trump has announced
Yes.
the formation of a new task force.
What for?
It's dedicated to protecting Christians from violence and terrorism.
Now let's turn to local news here in the Faroe Islands.
Sounds good.
There have been several car accidents reported.
Oh, no.
One serious accident occurred on the road between the tunnels north of Jal on Boraweni.
Okay.
4 people were hospitalized,
I see.
and both vehicles were badly damaged.
I hope everyone's okay.
In other incidents, a driver was apprehended in Vagur for driving under the influence of alcohol.
Oh, dear.
Another driver in Streymoy received a penalty point on their license
For what?
for driving 106 kilometers per hour outside a built-up area.
And in Torshavn, police responded to reports of a man who fell into the harbor at Vaglinum.
Oh, my.
He was intoxicated,
Oh, no.
but luckily he was able to get out of the water on his own.
That's good.
Another accident in Hivalba.
Oh, no. What happened?
The driver lost control of their vehicle because of strong winds,
Wow.
and the car left the road.
Okay.
Former Sysselman Jens H. Jensen has written an open letter
Really?
criticizing the Danish police
What about?
in the Faroe Islands for their approach to the Grindadrap.
Interesting. What does he say?
He argues that the current Danish High Commissioner to the Faroe Islands, Michael Bolson,
Yeah.
lacks understanding of Faroe's culture,
Okay.
and this has led to a disconnect between the police and the Faroes people.
I see. Jensen says that the Danish police have repeatedly refused to attend Grindadrap events,
Really?
even though they have a legal obligation to maintain order at large gatherings. He sees this as a sign of disrespect for Faroes traditions.
Interesting.
He also alleges bias on the part of the police.
How so?
He says they favor the environmental activists who report Grindadrap participants for animal cruelty.
Okay.
Jensen gives 2 instances where he was personally investigated by the police, even though no formal complaints had been filed against him.
So what does he want to happen?
In his letter, he calls for a Faroes person to be appointed to the position of High Commissioner.
He thinks that would help.
He believes that someone in this position who understands Faroes culture
Yeah.
would lead to more respect for Faroes traditions.
Makes sense.
In other news, an opinion piece in Socialuren argues that the Faroe Islands should think about
About what?
joining the European Union.
Interesting.
The author suggests that being a member of larger organizations like the EU and NATO could give the Faroe Islands more security and economic stability, especially with the war in Ukraine
Right.
and rising global tensions.
They make a good point.
They also talk about the economic benefits,
Like what?
accessing the EU's large internal market
Okay.
and its many free trade agreements with countries outside the EU.
But what about the fishing industry?
The author knows some people are worried about losing control over the Faroes fishing industry if the islands join the EU,
Right.
but they think it's short-sighted to believe
To believe what?
that the Faroe Islands can be as economically successful outside the EU's single market.
Okay.
Basically, they're saying that the Faroe Islands should really study the potential benefits and drawbacks of EU membership.
To make a good decision.
Exactly. A well-informed decision about the future of the Faroe Islands.
Now, what else is in the news?
An article in Socialiren talks about the growing problem of drug abuse in the Faroe Islands.
It's a serious issue.
Yeah, substance abuse counselor Martin Kerberg,
I know him,
says he's worried about how much drug abuse is increasing. And he doesn't see enough action being taken to address it.
That's good.
He wants less talk and more action.
What does he mean by that?
He says there's too much theoretical discussion,
Right.
and he wants more people with practical experience involved.
Makes sense. Who does he think should be involved?
People with experience in drug abuse treatment and prevention.
For really tackle the issue?
He thinks the focus should be on practical solutions and community-based approaches.
Those can be really effective.
On a more positive note, there's a new trawler,
Oh yeah, what's it called?
the Hugaberg.
I've heard of it.
It's getting a lot of good attention in the Faroes fishing industry.
What's so special about it?
People are excited about its new technology.
Interesting.
They think it will make fishing operations more efficient and sustainable.
That's great.
Johan Dahl, a member of parliament for the Sambandsflokken party,
Yeah.
wrote a letter to Indotfo about the need for pension reform in the Faroe Islands.
What's the problem with the pensions?
Dahl says the current pension system isn't keeping up with inflation and the rising cost of living.
That's a problem.
He says that wages in other sectors have gone up, but...
Pension payments haven't.
So what's he proposing?
He wants a big increase in pension payments to make things fair.
How much of an increase?
He wants them to raise pensions by at least 1,200 DKK per month per pensioner.
Wow, that's significant. He says that would restore their purchasing power to 2022 levels.
Let's go back to international news for a second.
Sure.
Former U.S. President Trump's announcement.
About the task force?
Yes. The task force aimed at protecting Christians from violence and terrorism around the world.
Right.
It's causing a lot of discussion.
Some people support it.
Okay.
They think it's necessary to protect Christians who are being persecuted.
On certain regions.
Exactly. Others think it's just a political move
I see.
to appeal to Trump's base.
It's definitely a controversial topic.
Switching gears to Elon Musk.
Okay.
He's run into some legal trouble in the United States.
Oh, what happened?
A U.S. judge has blocked his Doge efficiency unit from accessing systems within the U.S. Treasury. Apparently, the unit was trying to get information about millions of Americans.
And the judge said no.
Yeah, the judge said they didn't have permission and might have broken privacy laws.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So now it's time for the weather forecast.
Okay, what's the weather looking like for the next week?
So on Saturday, we can expect fresh to brisk southerly winds
Okay.
with some showers here and there.
Got it.
Temperatures will be between 3 and 8 degrees Celsius.
Sounds chilly.
But the winds will decrease to a gentle breeze by Sunday morning.
Sunday sounds a bit nicer.
Yeah, Sunday should be a little calmer with gentle to fresh southerly breezes.
Okay.
Partly cloudy skies.
Yeah.
And a few showers.
Okay, so still a chance of rain.
Yeah, you might want to pack an umbrella.
What about Monday?
Monday, we'll see the wind shift
Okay.
to a more southerly direction.
Interesting.
And it will pick up a bit too,
How much?
increasing to fresh to brisk breezes.
Brisk breezes, huh?
Yeah, it'll be a bit windy.
Okay.
Expect overcast skies and occasional showers.
It's still pretty wet.
Yeah, the rain's going to stick around for a bit.
All right, what are the temperatures looking like for Monday?
Temperatures on Monday will be between 2 and 7 degrees Celsius.
So even colder than the weekend.
Yeah, bit nippier.
What about Tuesday?
More of the same on Tuesday.
Meaning?
Still those fresh to brisk southeasterly winds.
Okay.
Overcast skies. And some showers.
All right.
Some of them might be quite heavy, though.
Oh, no.
But temperatures will be a little warmer between 4